Hey everybody, so welcome to my news of the day video for August 31st, the last day of August. Seems like the last day of summer the way the weather's been. Can you believe how fast summer's gone? And yeah, so we got a bunch of items to talk about, mostly Montreal Canadiens items, and we'll get right into it. I apologize for the red spots on the board. You're going to see them. I think you can see them there. And I got some new lighting, and I'm just getting used to using it. So sorry about that. Okay, we're going to get right into it. First off, first item is Max Domi is changing agents soon, possibly. So Max Domi may be changing agents. His current agent is Pat Brisson. So when I saw that on Twitter, the first thing I thought about is if he signs with Alan Walsh, will we be seeing a picture of Domi with a sword run through his chest, dripping with blood, and the word Julian or maybe Habs or Bergevin on the blade? But yeah, Domi's possibly changing agents. I know I saw something also. Someone said that it's a possibility that the team and Pat Brisson or Bergevin and Pat Brisson don't see eye to eye or something because of other players that Brisson's had that have been here, and there's been disagreements, I guess. I don't know that personally, but I saw something. So I don't know what agent he's going to take, but it would be funny if he does end up with Alan Walsh. Did Dale Talon, he's the former Panthers GM, did he make a racially charged comment when he was in the bubble with Florida? So he has since been, I don't know if he was fired or resigned. I think they let him resign, but they fired him type of thing from the Panthers since this happened. They're looking for a new GM now. Apparently he was possibly going to join another organization. That's apparently on hold while the NHL investigates this. Talon denies it happening, and they're making a point of that he hired Bill Peters. That's the guy, with that Ekman-Larrson in Rockford, Illinois, him calling him the N-word. He hired Peters for that job, so they're kind of trying to tie that together. I don't know if that means anything. It's possible that because one guy's like that, the other guy is. I don't know if that necessarily want to say that, but the NHL is investigating. We'll see what comes of that. Elliot Friedman doesn't think the NHL will have bubbles next season. Instead, he thinks one season of regionally realigned divisions and a lot of back-to-back games in each city. So when a team visits the other city, they'll play back-to-back games. And possibly also having a division just all Canadian teams, and it'll keep everybody in Canada, not having to cross the border. And I guess it kind of makes sense. I personally don't see how a bubble will work well for a full season like that. In a shortened thing like the tournament like this, where it's only a few months total from start to finish, you can understand how it's hard for them to do, but they can get through it. I don't see how you do a full season in a bubble. So this looks like it's a possible solution. I know the NHL would I'm sure like all the other leagues, would like to wait as long as they can to see if they can get fans in the stands. So I think in lieu of being able to do that, I think they will go to something a little bit more like that than a bubble system. So we'll see. Nothing's been announced yet, and we'll see what happens. It's still a ways away. Claude Julien back to 100%, according to him, and will be back behind the bench next season. He would have been back if Montreal had advanced past Philadelphia, but that didn't happen. Quote from him, probably a bigger risk to my health if I don't come back. So, yeah, I mean, it's harder. He's not ready to retire. He's still relatively young at 60. He's a little older than me, but not much. And, I would think, it'd be a lot harder on him stress-wise to actually not be able to coach than it would be. And it's high stress being an NHL coach, but it would, just missing the game and all that would be worse for him. I could see that. Pierre Turgeon, former Habs captain and star center, turned 51 on August 28th, because I didn't do a news of the day for about a week. So he turned 51 then. So happy birthday to Pierre. Happy belated birthday. And it's funny, it's my mother's birthday, same day. My mother's also has passed away, but it's the same day as my mom. So he's our last true #1 center here in Montreal. And the odd thing is, he was here for I want to say less than 2 seasons, and kind of odd considering the type of player. And number one center puts up tons of points, and from here, a French Quebec player, that they would have moved on so fast from him. So I always say that there's some kind of story there that hasn't come out yet. That would be very interesting to hear. Brendan Gallagher played with a small tear in his hip. I don't know which side. There was speculation something was wrong with him all playoffs. And he honestly, he didn't. When was his first goal anyway? Was against Philadelphia. So he only had like 3 points the whole playoffs. So that there was something wrong with him. And we thought, I think he took a shot off a foot, and that was what was bothering him, but it was a tear in his hip. Not surprised he played through it. Where did I leave off? But with the way they reveal injuries, also since the RTP, because they didn't want to signal, and they still don't want to signal if someone actually has COVID. They're not going to actually announce that. So all injuries are either you're unfit to play or unfit to practice, and that's it. So we didn't hear anything, and I'm sure that's one of the reasons why we didn't know that he was hurt at all. With Galley staying in the lineup, there was no way to know also what, if anything, was wrong, because they didn't take him out of the lineup, so we didn't know anything was wrong. I guess I also forgot, because this was a little higher up on the board, Jean Beliveau would have been 89 years old today. So he was born August 31st, 1931 in Trois-Rivières, Quebec. One of the greatest, if not the greatest, I mean, depending on your opinion of it. For me, Guy Lafleur was the greatest Canadiens player. Not that Beliveau was like far behind him at all, right on his heels. But you could have picked Maurice Richard, Doug Harvey. I mean, there were guys that you could pick other than that. But I think those three legitimately are considered the very best that ever played for Montreal. So he would have turned 89. So I don't know if it's appropriate to say happy birthday, belated, happy birthday to someone who's passed away. But if it is, happy birthday, Jean Beliveau. Great Habs player. I guess the last item I'm going to go for here, is it? Yes. It looks like Arizona Coyotes defenseman, I guess number one defenseman there, and captain, Oliver Ekman-Larrson, is rumored to be on the trading block. And with the Habs being rumored as a possible landing spot, so OEL, they call him OEL, Oliver Ekman-Larrson, has 7 years remaining on a contract with an $8.25 million annual average value. I did a video just before, and I didn't know what the V was, but it's value. He is a left defenseman and would fit right in with this roster, I think. The Coyotes would have to retain some salary here to make this work, though, if you ask me. Like, if there's a deal here, I think Montreal, next season they have the cap space for it, but going farther and considering he is going to be 33, he's going to have 7 years. I mean, going farther, you don't want that $8.25 million cap hit at all against you, I think, and they're going to have to retain some salary if they're going to work out a deal with Montreal, and I think something in the order of at least $2 million of that cap hit. Montreal might also need to move someone out, and maybe like a Kulak or a Mete to go the other way, because they're left side defensemen as well. So, and I've talked about this. I think I talked about this in my video for finding a backup goalie for Carey Price. That scenario of where if you move Carey Price and you pick up 2 goalies that are costing you maybe a little less than his one salary would have cost you, and you can do just as good. Look, I love Carey Price, and I think he's a great goalie, but honestly, you can do just as well in the playoffs with 2 solid goalies. At least one of them is hot, and you can do well and win a cup, and there's no doubt about that. So it's something to talk about, I guess. I don't think Montreal would do this, but I guess it's something to talk about. If you did that, you'd be able to afford at least a lot easier, because you wouldn't have that second goalie salary. Like, you kept Price at $10.5 million, you got to get him a backup, $2-3 million, whatever. You wouldn't have that, and so you'd save a bit of money, and it could definitely go towards a contract like that, or to bring in other people. So I don't know if there's a fit there as far as trade wise, but it seems that Arizona maybe kind of moving in a rebuilding direction. They're talking about Oliver Ekman-Larrson. They're talking about Darcy Kemper, which, hey, you make a deal, you get them both. And you have to move price, though, because Kemper makes, I think, $4.5 million next season. And I don't think you can bring in a backup when you have your goalie making 10.5. I don't think you can have a backup that's making anything higher than 3, honestly. I don't see how that works. It's too much money at one position. And yeah, so if you're already going to have a high-paid goalie like that, which is the reason probably why lately, or maybe not for most of the time, but since he signed his contract anyway, that, you know, they're trying to go as cheap as possible. So there you go. I guess that's my news of the day video. Let me know what you think about it in the comment section down below about any of these stories, what you think about them. And if you like the video, give a thumbs up. I appreciate that. And if you're new to the channel or you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe and ring that notifications bell. That's going to get you your daily fix of Blue, Blanc, Rouge right here at Talking Habs. And I appreciate that. Thinking of doing a video. There's a lot of talk about Max Domi and possibility of trading him or just along those lines. And I think maybe my next video is going to be about that. So look for that, and I'll see you next video. Thanks for watching. Please stay safe out there, and peace out, y'all. Have a good one. Bye-bye.